Okay, so here I've drawn the situation where the person receives a raise from $10 an hour to $100 per hour. Okay, so at $10 per hour, they were working 10 hours over the day, right? So they had 6 hours of leisure and they earned $60. Okay, so initially they were working 6 hours, and then after their $100 per hour raise, they are only working 8 hours. Okay, so they're only working 8. So the total effect is minus 2 hours of working. Okay, so they work 2 hours less than they were before. Okay, so we know the total effect. Now, let's figure out the income and substitution effects using the same method as before. So we start here, okay, and we shift it straight up. Okay, so that hits the curve right there. Okay, and if I were smart, I would have left the page there, but that's okay. Okay, so now we have given them the monetary equivalent to get them up to their new indifference curve at their old wage of $10 per hour. Okay, so from here, right, the income effect, this looks like it's going to be 12, let's say, which means 4. Okay, so 400. This is a terribly drawn graph, and I apologize for my lack of scale. Okay, so my scale's off, but the intuition here is correct. Okay, so the income effect says that they work 6 hours less, and the substitution effect since we know the total is minus 2 and we're already at minus 6, we have to be at 4 hours more. Okay, the total is going to be minus 2. Leading scholars contend that negative 6 plus 4 is equal to negative 2. Okay, and so you can show both the income effect dominating and the substitution effect dominating, and you can split these into any total change can be split into the income effect and the substitution effect. So just to quickly review, the income effect is what happens, it's your change in how many hours you want to work based solely on the fact that you now have more money. Okay, so that's the income effect, is the change in your behavior based on only your income, holding your wage constant. Okay, the substitution effect kicks in because now that you've gotten a raise, okay, an hour of your time is now worth more to someone else, okay, and as a result, not working costs you more. Okay, so the opportunity cost of leisure has risen, which means you want to do less of it. Okay, and so as a result, whenever you get a raise, the substitution effect alone says that you will work more. Whenever you get a raise, the income effect alone says that you'll work less. And the opposite is also true. So if your wage falls, okay, if your wage falls, the substitution effect says that you are less likely to work, but the income effect says that you are more likely to work. Okay, you want to work more hours. Okay, and so what we've got going on here, right, is an explanation for why people's behavior changes, and we can graph it out using these indifference curves and budget constraints. Okay, and we're going to be using these tools a lot over this semester. So I will provide links to more videos and more descriptions about indifference curves and maybe some practice problems if I can track some down for you. Okay, but I don't want to do the calculus in here. We can if you guys want to. So here's the deal: if you want calculus, if you want to turn this into like a technical class, shoot me an email and we'll do calculus. I'll do a whole video on how to solve for all these things, and we can do that. Okay, but I want you guys to understand sort of the intuition here. Okay, so remember the income effect is sort of from 6 to 12, right? And then the substitution effect is from 12 back to 8. Okay, so the income effect says you work less, right? Because remember, moving to the right is working less. It's more leisure. And the substitution effect says you work more, which is a movement to the left because you'll have less leisure. Okay, so yes. So if you want calculus, shoot me an email, and I'll gladly make some videos for that. But I want you guys to sort of understand income, substitution, income, substitution. Okay, all right.